It is the 31st century, and mankind is once again at war. The battlefields of the future are dominated by huge robotic war machines known as battlemechs.
When Archon Katrina Steiner became aware of the events on Candace, she was enraged. Not only had Duke Selvin Kassawa defied her, but the damage caused by the resulting riots to the HPG had brought complaints from Comstar. At first, Katrina considered sending 2 full regiments to arrest the Duke. However, her daughter, Melissa, and son-in-law Hans Davian would urge restraint. In the end, cooler heads prevailed, and Katrina Steiner ordered a delegation sent to Candace to hand the world over to the Rasalhague Republic. As a show of her authority, the delegation would be led by her sister, Nandi Steiner, and protected by an assault lance of the elite 3rd Lyran Guard. Should the world not comply, or if Duke Kelsawa should take further action of defiance, Nandi was authorized to call up the full 3rd Lyran Guard and make an example out of the Tamar Pact leader. Meanwhile, Theodore Kurita had a problem. His own attempts to recognize the new Free Rasalhague Republic had met with far worse results. Several powerful leaders were leading the Ronin forces. Warlord Vasily Sherinkov and worse, his great-uncle, Marcus Kurita, were lending a sense of validity to the Ronin's efforts. The events on Candace seemed distant and unimportant until an opportunity presented itself. After the 4th Secession War, Chancellor Romano Leal began a purge of his military. The 3 Shin legions, fearing such a fate, began efforts to escape the Capellan Confederation. While the 3rd Shin Legion and the entire aerospace wing of the 1st Legion were lost, the remaining Shin eventually arrived in Draconis Combine space. Despite pledging their loyalty to the Dragon, Theodore did not trust them. If he sent these untested outsiders against the Ronin, they may join the Ronin, making the situation that much worse. Instead, Theodore Kurita would use them to seize Candace and hand it over to the Rasalhague Republic. Should the Shin Legion succeed, Theodore could show his dedication to the treaty. Should they fail, or should the Lyrans take offense at the world being seized, the Shin Legion could be disavowed as yet another rogue mercenary company. When the Steiner delegation arrived at Candace, they were surprised to find a former Capellan Legion in orbit. Nadani Steiner demanded an explanation. The Legion responded that they had been ordered to secure the planet and hand it over to the Rasalhague Republic. With her contact rebuffed by the acting governor, Nadani Steiner saw no reason to risk her own guard. She agreed to allow the Shin Legion to carry out their orders, but under her watchful eye. She and her Lyran guards would observe from orbit. The Shin Legion would supply her with real-time reports. Eager to prove themselves to their new masters, the Shin Legion agreed. The Shin Legion attacked with almost suicidal abandon. Both legions quickly moved on the capital city and were confronted by exhausted elements of the Dragonslayers. Turn 1. The Griffin runs forward to the base of the central tall hill. The Zeus runs south, lining up on the approaching mechs. The Wolfhound runs forward and cuts north, trying to outflank the Shin mechs. The Warhammer walks to the hill, taking cover. The Locust walks with the Warhammer, taking cover behind the same hill. The Hatchet Man runs forward. The Orion charges forward. The Enforcer runs towards the Orion and Warhammer. The Orion fires his AC-10 and LRM-15 at the Enforcer. The autocannon misses, but the missiles damage the left torso, left leg, and right leg. The Wolfhound cannot see an enemy. The Warhammer fires both PPCs at the Enforcer, one damaging the right leg. The Locust fires both LRM-5s at the Enforcer, but misses. The Hatchet Man cannot find a target. The Enforcer returns fire at the Warhammer with his AC-10 and large laser, but misses. The Griffin fires his LRM-15 at the Enforcer, but misses. The Zeus fires her PPC at the Orion, but misses. Turn 2. The Orion backs off. The Wolfhound runs, trying to get behind the Legion mechs. The Warhammer holds his ground. The Locust runs, getting into melee with the Wolfhound. The Hatchet Man runs north, backing up the Wolfhound. The Griffin walks up the hill, taking cover behind its peak. The Zeus walks forward. The Enforcer runs to the hill, taking cover behind the other side of it. The Griffin fires his PPC at the Hatchet Man, hitting the right torso. Lance Leader Davis fires her PPC at the Griffin, but the blast hits the hillside. The Orion fires again on the Enforcer with his AC-10 and LRM-15, but misses. The Wolfhound fires 3 medium lasers at the approaching Locust, missing. He swings out with his fist, smashing through the thin armor of the right torso. The Warhammer unleashes his dual medium lasers, both small lasers, his SRM-6, and both machine guns at the Enforcer. A medium laser hits the hillside, as does an SRM, but 2 missiles smash into the left arm. The Locust fires his medium laser at the Hatchet Man, hitting the mech's head, injuring the mech warrior within. He manages to kick the left leg. The Hatchet Man fires his AC-10 at the Griffin, the autocannon round slamming into the center torso. The Enforcer again fires on the Warhammer with his AC-10 and large laser. The autocannon misses, but the large laser melts away armor of the right torso. Turn 3. The Enforcer backs around the hill. The Orion runs closer to the Enforcer. The Wolfhound's gyro, jarred by the Locust kick, comes off balance. The mech warrior, unprepared, falls flat on his center torso. He tries to stand, but the off-balance gyro causes him to fall again, this time slamming his head into the ground. Shaking away the stars in his eyes, the gyro system now shows clear, the shock of the falls resetting the gyro. He stands and manages to run south. The Warhammer backs up, trying to keep the Wolfhound from getting behind him. The Locust turns and runs, trying to make it into the city. The Hatchet Man, seeing the Locust coming, runs, chasing him down. The Griffin stands on the hill, taking aim. The Zeus walks forward, joining the Enforcer. The Griffin fires both his PPC and LRM-15 at the Hatchet Man. The missiles fail to lock on, but the PPC damages the mech's right leg. Lance Leader Davis and her Zeus fires her large laser, medium laser, and an SRM-6 at the Orion. The medium laser melts away armor on the center torso, while the missiles explode against the left and right torsos. The Enforcer also targets the Orion, alpha striking but missing with all of his weapons. The Orion returns fire on the Zeus with his AC-10, both medium lasers, and his SRM-4. The autocannon misses, but the medium lasers dig into the armor of the center torso and right torsos, while SRMs hit the right torso and left leg. The Wolfhound fires his 3 medium lasers at the Warhammer but misses. The Warhammer fires both medium lasers as well as the small lasers, machine guns, and his SRM-6 in reply. The medium lasers hit the Wolfhound's left torso and right arm. A small laser damages the left torso, a machine gun burst hits the left arm, and SRMs damage the center torso, and left arm. The Locust fires both LRM-5s at the Zeus, but again misses. The Hatchet Man fires his AC-10 at the Locust and swings his hatchet. The autocannon rips into the right leg, ripping it from the torso, destroying it as well. The small mech falls, causing the hatchet to miss. Turn 4. The Enforcer runs up and over the hill. The Wolfhound walks into melee with the Warhammer, trying to block him in. The Warhammer stays in hand-to-hand with the Wolfhound. The Locust mech warrior, looking up at the hatchet, pulls the ejection lever. The Hatchet Man runs off the hill, trying to join his lance in the south. The Orion backs off, covering the rear of the Griffin. The Griffin stays in his firing position on the hill. The Zeus walks after the Orion. The Hatchet Man fires his AC-10 and both medium lasers at the Griffin, a medium laser hitting the center torso. The Enforcer again fires on the Warhammer with his AC-10 and large laser, the large laser damaging the right torso. The Orion continues his battle with the Zeus, firing his AC-10 hitting the larger mech's left leg. The Griffin's PPC melts away almost all the armor of the Hatchet Man's right arm. The Zeus fires on the Orion with her PPC and large laser. The PPC hits the left leg while the large laser melts armor on the right torso. The Wolfhound fires his 3 medium lasers at the Warhammer. 2 of the lasers hit the center torso. He swings out with his fist, but misses. The The Warhammer fires his PPC point blank at the Wolfhound, followed by both medium lasers, small lasers, machine guns, and his SRM-6. Despite the close range, the PPC hits the light mech's left torso, destroying it while the medium lasers melt into the center torso and right leg. The small lasers hit the right arm and head, further injuring the already hurt mech warrior. The SRMs hit the left leg and center torso. The Warhammer lands a thundering kick, heavily damaging the smaller mech's right leg. Turn 5. The Enforcer walks forward. The Orion backs off. The Griffin jumps back off the hill. The Zeus walks forward, chasing the Orion. The Hatchet Man jumps over the hill, chasing the Griffin. The Wolfhound runs back, joining the Zeus, trying to escape. The Warhammer holds his ground, preparing his weapons. The Orion opens fire with his AC-10, both medium lasers, and his SRM-4. The medium lasers hit the Wolfhound in the center torso and left leg. The autocannon misses, but missiles slam into the center torso, ripping the mech apart. It crumbles and falls. The Hatchet Man fires his autocannon at the Griffin, but misses. The Warhammer unleashes his medium lasers, small lasers, and machine guns, and SRM-6 at the Enforcer. The medium lasers melt into the right torso and right leg. A small laser hits the right arm. The SRMs explode on the center torso, left torso, right arm, and machine gun rounds hit the left arm and crack the canopy when they rake the mech's head. The Griffin fires his PPC at the Enforcer, damaging the left leg. Lance Leader Davis targets the Orion, firing her PPC and large laser. The PPC damages the left torso, while the large laser digs into the center torso. The Enforcer replies to the Warhammer with his AC-10 large laser and small laser. The large laser hits the left arm, while the autocannon and small laser both strike the Warhammer's center torso. Turn 6. The Orion again backs off. The Griffin backs up to join the Warhammer. The Enforcer stands still, preparing for melee action against the Griffin. The Zeus runs into melee with the Orion. The Hatchet Man runs chasing the Griffin. The Warhammer holds his ground. The Hatchet Man fires his AC-10 and both medium lasers at the Warhammer. The AC-10 rounds damage the left torso and a medium laser hits the left arm. The Zeus unleashes her medium laser and all three of her SRM-6 banks into the Orion. The medium laser hits the right torso, while the missiles almost all hit, explosions blooming all over the mech. Lance Leader Davis moves, kicking out with her assault mech's foot, but misses the Orion. The Griffin fires his PPC at the Hatchet Man, melting almost all the armor off the left arm. The Orion again unleashes his short-range weapons at the Zeus. The missiles miss, but the autocannon hits the larger mech's left torso, and medium lasers melt away some of the armor of the right torso. Seeing an opening, he lands a thundering kick on the left leg. The Warhammer tries firing a PPC and all of his short-range weapons at the Enforcer. The PPC misses, but the medium lasers hit the left arm and dig their way into the right leg, seizing up the upper leg actuator. A small laser damages the left torso, while missiles explode against the left leg, center torso, and two hit the unprotected right leg, destroying a jump jet, the lower leg actuator, and the foot actuator. The machine gun blasts rake the center torso and left torso. The Enforcer responds, alpha striking the Griffin, his AC-10 rounds and large laser heavily damaging the right leg, the small laser hitting the center torso. The Enforcer kicks out, ripping away what little armor was left, protecting the right leg. Turn 7. The Enforcer, heavily damaged, backs away. Lance Leader Davis' leg slips, she stumbles and falls, trying to catch herself, damaging both the mech's arms. Standing, she backs away, regaining her footing. The Hatchet Man walks into melee with the Warhammer and Griffin. The Griffin, Orion, and Warhammer all hold their ground. The Enforcer opens up on the Warhammer, aiming for center mass, his AC-10 rounds and large laser heavily damaging the center torso, but somehow missing anything vital. The Orion again fires both medium lasers, his autocannon and SRM-4 at the Zeus. The autocannon and medium laser hit the left torso, destroying the large laser there. The Warhammer again tries to use his PPC at close range as well as all his short-range weapons on the Hatchetman. The PPC cooks away armor of the left leg. The medium lasers both hit, one on the right torso, the other on the left arm, destroying the upper arm actuator in the hand. The small laser hit the mech's damaged head and right torso. SRMs and machine gun rounds pepper the mech, destroying a jump jet and the left leg. The Warhammer kicks out, kicking the left leg off the mech. The mech topples, falling hard on the right arm. The Griffin fires his PPC and LRM-15 at the Enforcer, the PPC hitting the left torso. He then lifts his foot and stomps down on the center torso of the Hatchetman beneath him. Lance Leader Davis fires her medium laser, all of her SRM-6s at the Orion. The medium laser damages the left leg, while again almost all the missiles hit, covering the Orion in fiery blooms. Looking up at the mech above him, he holds on tight as the explosive bolts detach the Hatchetman's head, the rockets firing, taking him safely in his cockpit away from the crippled mech. Turn 8. The Orion and Warhammer hold their ground. The Zeus walks back into melee with the Orion. The Enforcer jumps over the hill, taking cover behind it. The Griffin also holds his ground. The Griffin Alpha strikes the withdrawing Enforcer with his PPC, ripping off what remained of the left arm while the LRMs slam into the center torso. Lance Leader Davis unloads her medium lasers and all 18 of her SRMs into the Orion. In the explosions, a missile finds its way into the unprotected right torso, setting off the remaining autocannon rounds. Davis covers her eyes as the Orion detonates in a massive explosion. The Enforcer returns fire on the Warhammer with his autocannon but misses. The Warhammer fires a single PPC at the Enforcer, destroying the left torso. Turn 9. The Enforcer continues to back away. The Griffin and Warhammer stand still, lining up on their targets. Lance Leader Davis runs south, trying to save her Enforcer. The Griffin fires his PPC at the approaching Zeus, the PPC damaging the right torso. The Warhammer unleashes his dual PPCs at the Enforcer, one hitting the center torso, the other the right arm. The Enforcer replies with his autocannon damaging the Warhammer's left torso. Lance Leader Davis lines up, her PPC aiming dead center on the Warhammer. The man-made lightning crackles out, melting away the remaining supports in the Warhammer's center torso. The mech falls. Turn 10. The Enforcer's strained systems begin to fail. The piloting mech warrior cannot overcome the crippled leg. It slips and falls, damaging the center torso. He stays down rather than risking more damage on an almost useless leg. Lance Leader Davis continues south in her Zeus, closing on the Griffin. The Griffin pilot jumps back, withdrawing from the battle. Aftermath. When the Shin legions landed on Candace, the Dragonslayers tried to hold the capital city. Despite an early victory, the Dragonslayers could not defend the city against both legions, attacking with almost suicidal abandon. 4 hours after first contact, the Dragonslayers had struck their colors and surrendered. The Murdoch's malcontents were another story. Despite repeated calls from the Shin legions, as well as Lance Leader Gunther of the Lyran Guard and Nandi Steiner's personal promise of fair treatment, the mercenaries refused to reply. Unknown to the Legion and the Guard at the time, the malcontents had been on the edge of bankruptcy. They had accepted a large portion of their contract up front from Duke Kelsawa to avoid defaulting. In return for the advance payment, they had pledged their mechs and equipment to Kelsawa as collateral should they surrender. Regardless of the reasons, it soon became clear that the malcontents' Lance and their ancient mechs would have to be hunted down and exterminated. Hello, this is Adam of DreamMade Productions. Thank you for watching this video. I would ask, please help me grow this channel by subscribing, liking, leaving a comment, or sharing. I really enjoy bringing you these videos. If you would like to support the channel, I have included some places you can send Bitcoin or other crypto in the description. I have also included a link for PayPal if you would like to support that way. please know that any amount you give will be cherished and used to upgrade equipment and improve the channel. As of the date of this video, all donations and any funds I can personally put in are being saved towards upgrading to a Canon G50 for HD video. I cannot express how honored I am that so many of you have chosen to watch my content. When I started this adventure, I thought I would just have one sub. Thanks, Mom. But the amount of support I have gotten has exceeded all my expectations. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope you enjoy the battle reps that are to come.